wit and sarcasm. It's something I love. Well done, Joe. For being so good at it.
I'm glad you went that way, because like getting the thumbs up and well done is what a lot of teachers said to me back in the day when I was about to get a fail on the test.
Oh well, so. Don't talk to me about the teachers, yeah. And I promise you, this wasn't, the green was not arranged. I didn't even know I was going to make it until like the last hour. But actually, this is the colour of my school uniform. I wasn't that traumatized, really, you know. Obviously, I'm still wearing it. But, so yeah. I don't know what I'm doing, really. I didn't really know what I was doing until very late. But anyhow, I'll give it a go. It's great to be back. So really, it's lovely to be back, and it's lovely to be in a room, such creativity. When I was in my 20s and 30s, the majority of you are, I was going to the pub. I wasn't creative. I told myself I wasn't creative. So, and I was in London in my early 20s, and I've been here since. So it's only in the last few years that I have started nurturing and nourishing my creative side, knowing that it was there. And so what has come out recently is a lot of stories from my past in poetry, in rhyme. So I call them, people say, oh, I don't really like poetry, because going to school, obviously, oh God, some of it was quite boring and quite cryptic and quite crazy, you know. So it turned a lot of people off. But yeah, the stories, so I say to people who say, oh, I don't really like poetry, do you like stories? They say, yeah. I say, mine are stories that rhyme. So, is that poetry? Yeah. So really the question is, so these are all stories from when I was in my 20s and 30s, and that's how they're kind of coming out. They come out of me. People say to me, what do you mean they come out of you? They kind of write themselves, some of them. So really, have you ever been in a crowded room and felt alone? Even lonely? Have you ever longed for someone in the hope that they would take your loneliness away? Or sought out people and partners to make you feel loved and comforted and desired, to find that sense of love and belonging somewhere, anywhere? I used to. But I've learned that the true human connection and feeling love and belonging comes from within, internally, not so much externally. And this poem I wrote is about being alone and feeling lonely, which are not really the same thing. I wonder sometimes, was I really meant to be alone? To heartbreak being prone? So long searching for that proverbial love of my life, my Mr. Perfect, my Mr. Right, so-called the one, but only into solitude to be continually thrown. A singleton, left on the shelf, alone, all by my little own self. What did the universe have in store, leaving me like this, at times sad to the very core? All that time I spent feeling damaged, flawed, stuck in those thoughts in limbo, landing and going nowhere, just like a thrown stone. Then, myself alone, I woke up. I had an aha moment. Could I learn to love myself? Love me? Find the true happiness within? And now I think, from that thoughtful moment, how I've grown. I am only one, but I am one. A solid one, a stable one. That for me in gold is worth a ton. Actually, priceless. I have learned to love me in awe and wondrously. I now believe, yes, Perhaps I was meant to be alone, but I was never meant to be lonely. I reaped only from the seeds for me my mind had sown. At times I buried myself by the belief being damaged, being flawed, but this was only a perceived lacking, a lack of unconditional love, therefore a perceived unlovableness. As conventional true love to me was somehow unknown, but now from that burial, parts of me I never knew existed fruitfully were grown. How could I have believed that my miraculous being was flawed? Oh, but now it's me and me alone I applaud. When we know ourselves, love ourselves, belong to ourselves, nothing can ever bury us into such darkness from which we won't rise strong. Like the smallest of seeds into the darkest of grounds being thrown, that develop roots of which produce the sweetest fruitful results. I know now that I will leave this world alone, but never lonely. Thank you very much. And this is a second one, shorter and a bit on the same emotional self-deception. I think human beings are great artists when it comes to self-deception. That smile, that look, the chemistry. We kiss, we share intimacy in each other's arms. The world somehow is momentarily better. A quick fix with that mysterious, intriguing, emotional debtor. Then we part. What's left? Do we deserve something, anything? Or are we both bereft, so removed from our emotions? But I wish to save you from your unemotionality. I need to be a savior. It's my reality. But do I need to be my own savior for my own self-sabotaging pattern of destructive behavior? But the mystery surrounding you intrigues me, draws me in. I have no control of me when it comes to you. But I wonder, is this all the theory of projection? Why all I strive for is your long-term affection, but I receive temporary, continuous rejection. Is it time to face my own emotional self-deception? Thank you very much. And one more, and a bit around the emotional, getting to know your emotions, getting to know you, self-awareness, emotional awareness. And I was at a poetry evening, and somebody was talking about, a friend of mine said, Patricia could write about anything. She could even write about the fridge. And I said, challenge accepted. So I first thought, I'll write about the fridge. Oh my God, why did I say that? What will I write about? And I thought I'd write as if I was the fridge. But in true fashion, I just said the fridge, my fridge, and the next thing, this is what came out. So I did actually have a bit of a relationship with my fridge there for many years. And this is the story. My fridge, my friend, standing proud and tall against the cream-colored wall. Yes, you heard right. My fridge, my friend. I shared with it all my emotion, and it gave me its devotion. The door opened, its light went on, and an ease over me came upon, washing over me, comforting me. And then it gave me what I needed to bury my unlovableness, my heaviness, my weakness. My fridge loved me. It was always there for me, standing tall against that wall, and me in its presence feeling so small. It was as if it held my life story within, so much emotional attachment in that opening. But for an emotional growth and development trend, eventually all toxic relationships have to find their end. So with it, I did learn to let go, something I always found down deep did know. The esteem in which I held it just wasn't right. So I had to find me a different, more positive kind of light. It took time, compassion, energy, consistency, and empathic synergy. But now I'm glad I worked on building the bridge between me and my emotionally fueled fridge. Now it stands against the wall, and what lies behind is a more positive enthrall. Of my emotions, I am now more in control. And in my life, my fridge, well, it plays an all-round, more healthier role. Thank you very much, everyone.